go.
All right. Now, are you a middle-aged car salesman?
Next.
Cool. Then stop sitting like you got a pot belly and like you're bored out your mind.
Okay.
Stand up like a proud man. Get your feet where you need them to be.
Okay.
Slow and steady. Easy day. Clean run. Move. Stop. Go back.
He's very knowledgeable. Robert is very knowledgeable what I'm getting so far.
There you go. Much closer to center. Good job. I have lost so many fights in my life, but those are historically the ones that taught me the most.
For sure.
Winning feels great. Yay! But like losing and being able to know why you lose so that never happens again, that is invaluable.
YouTube, what it do, man? Honey Gang, what it do? Welcome back to the channel. I usually say, as you can see, we back out here at the ranch, but we not at the ranch today. Honey Gang, man, today we got something real special going on. I was invited out here by my guy, Robert Higgins. His name is actually Robert Walker too. Honey Gang, for y'all that don't know, my name is Robert Walker. And I was invited out here by Robert Walker, a guy named Mr.Higgins from Witt Machine. And he invited me out to do some shooting today. So we out here, we getting loaded up. As you can see, we got a nice shooting area out here. I like this turf. We might have to see about that at the ranch. I like this turf. But again, we getting loaded up right now, Honey Gang. We're gonna get loaded up and we're gonna get right to it. Y'all stay tuned.
So let's play the beginning real fast.
Okay.
Handgun, nothing in it, spare mag or empty gun. We both confirm that. 3 things win a gunfight: draw, first round accuracy, and reloading the weapon. Draw is like just simply getting your hand on the gun, and where a lot of people screw this up is they'll get the gun, draw the gun, fix their grip, and then press out.
Right.
Whether it's competition, day-to-day life, or a defensive situation, this is the most important interaction you're about to have with this gun next to shooting the problem or the target.
Right.
In competition, it's a target. In reality, it may or may not be an actual problem. So getting this right first, straight out of the gate, is going to be the biggest thing that sets you up for success. Too many people, and I see cops do it, I see security guys do it, I see other like EDC people do it. They'll grab the gun, they'll have a really shitty tang grip, and then they'll fix the gun in their hand, come together and press out.
I do that from concealment because it's hard to get behind it.
It's hard to get behind it.
In concealment, so it's once I get it here, then I'm getting all the way up on it. But here, I'm
super
good.
Easy.
Yeah.
The answer to that, and I'm not trying to call you out on camera, is
no.
Fix your method of carry.
Okay.
Because if you can't get a grip on it, do something different. Okay. It's like that whole looping thing we were talking about. If I'm fiddle fighting to get this thing, I'm not concentrating on the problem. I'm concentrating on the thing I think is going to solve it, and I'm distracted from the issue.
Okay.
This should just be an intuitive motion. I don't want to say you do it without thinking, because prosecutors love to hear that. Oh, you weren't thinking when you shot my client?
Right.
No, that's not what I'm saying, well, but that's what you said.
Right.
I want this to be as intuitive as it can be. And that'll come down to being fast at certain parts of the draw and slowing down at certain parts of the draw.
Okay.
Getting to the gun should be really quick. Making sure you have that good grip on the firearm itself can be slowed down a little bit. If you're just grabbing the thing and it's a sloppy grip, slow yourself down. Getting the gun out can be very fast. And then finalizing your sight picture can be somewhat slower. Finalizing your sight picture comes down to what is an acceptable sight picture. Do I have the full torso of a person to shoot at? Or am I shooting over the shoulder at somebody or over someone's shoulder and trying to hit a pumpkin or just a shoulder? Because that's all that I have exposed of my problem that I'm trying to solve. So for me, grip is the most important part of that draw. And you had mentioned earlier that finding the dot can be a problem. When we first started shooting, you probably had iron sights to begin with. When we shoot an iron sight gun, whether we notice it or not, we tip the gun up a little bit. This is exaggerated. Nobody does it this much. But we'll look at the problem. We'll bring the front sight into our field of view. We'll line it up with our rear sight and then break our shot. And we get into that habit of presenting the gun front sight first. And that can turn into a problem because when we have a red dot on the firearm and we draw and we try that same thing, because we're so used to lining up the rear sight with the front sight once we found the front sight, with a red dot, what we'll do is we'll find the problem, find the front sight, and then we'll try and line the dot up with it. And that's not how the gun works anymore. In the beginning, the goal is to bring the gun out dead flat, press it straight out to the problem, see the dot, and squeeze a shot. In the beginning, what I tell people that have a habit of finding the front sight is, again, I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit, is to bring the gun out, point the nose to the ground, bring the gun up. So now the first thing I see as it comes up is the dot. And again, I'm over-exaggerating this, like a bad actor from vaudeville. But I want to press the gun out straight so I find that dot and break my shot. But now, because the gun is down just a little bit, I can bring it up. There's my dot. It's aligned with my problem. I can squeeze my shot and I win. But I see the dot first, and now I delete that portion where I'm instinctually trying to line up the dot in the front sight. That might help you. Now, again, you have no ammo in your gun. Or you have a mag in your gun, but are you live yet?
We are clear.
Okay, cool. So empty mag, empty gun. Go ahead, holster the gun. Look at the problem and just really try and exaggerate that muzzle down and then bring the gun up real slow in your line of sight. Now tip the gun up. Does that help?
It did.
Okay, so just get a couple of reps on that. I'm a huge fan of a dry fire because it's free and I'm cheap. Getting the gun out and just being able to find that dot. I shouldn't have to look at the gun to draw it because I should know where it is. It's attached to my body. But looking at the holster to put the gun away is 100% all right. And there's plenty of people that are like, you shouldn't take your eyes off the threat. If that's still a threat, I'm not putting my gun away.
Right.
So the gun comes out fast, but it'll go back into the holster very deliberately. And that can take some time because I'm switching gears now. I've gone from shooting the problem till it stops wiggling into now it's safe. I have to reassess. Am I hurt? Is there anybody else hurt? Is there, like, what else are my concerns? And I don't want to waste time like it's prom night. I want to look at it, stick it in there, close it up, and go on to my next task. I don't want to be fiddle farting around because now I'm taking a loaded gun and I'm ridiculously trying to find the hole it goes into. There is nothing wrong with me going, even if it's just to get it started. There it is. I can come back up and look around. I can put the gun away. And again, at any point during that return to holster, I can reapply the gun to the situation as needed, if needed. Those are huge things for people to recognize. So just get a couple of reps in of pressing that gun out where you need it to be. There's 3 steps to a draw. There's finding the gun, defeating the retention, and actually drawing the firearm. I see cops all the time, they'll have a bail and they'll tip it forward and then they'll get on the range and they're ready. If your gun has a retention system, use it. Their answer to me is, well, when I go to that domestic, I get my gun ready. No. Your gun has retention involved, your holster has retention, so somebody doesn't take it away and beat you with it like you're a redheaded stepchild. If you take one of those methods out of the way, that's one less thing they have to do to take your gun. Cops get shot by their own gun all the time. That means me, as a civilian, that's a risk I run as well. Yeah. So if there's a retention on the holster, get used to defeating that retention in a timely fashion, not amplifying the problem because you're only used to defeating part of that retention because you're used to presetting it. But what happens when you're surprised and you forget? You're like, oh no, because I don't practice getting that stuff out of the way. Always use it.
I'm one of those guys. I don't, and I have 3.
This will get out of the way on its own. You don't even have to worry about that one. This one, you push down, push forward, and you win. The nice thing about this, we're gonna get all sorts of weird prison here.
Oh, no.
Push down, once it's out of the way, your thumb is, put your hand down just a hair because you're blocking her and I can see her trying to fix it. When you push down on that, your thumb naturally wants to come back to the gun. And when it comes back to the gun, it defeats this one. The second retention. This one's forward, that one's back. This one it just falls out of the way. Down, back, out. That should be part of your dry fire, especially in competition. Especially, like, obviously you're not going to carry that holster in every day. Right. But maybe you are. Honest
to God, I would, if I felt comfortable carrying like this way.
If I didn't feel like a ridiculous wannabe cop, I'd carry this all the time because it's fast, efficient, and safe.
Right. I would for sure carry this way, but then
it's not realistic.
Right. It goes into that conversation of, well, you don't want the bad guy to know, but
100%. I will.
But I do like this way. Of course, if it was ideal.
If I have my druthers and I know I'm going into a gunfight, there's 3 things I want. I want my wife, I want a rifle, and I want my duty rig. Yeah. In that order, because my wife is way meaner than I am. So I want my wife, I want my mommy, I want my wife, I want my rifle, and I want my duty rig. Because this is super efficient for me to get to and from my firearm if I need to. Right. So make use of those.
And I want to say that in competition, I guess I wouldn't actually have this. I use it now because this is the only one that I have. Sure. But in competition, I see they use one where they're not even pressing the button. Right. They're just coming right out.
It's just coming up. It's a friction lock. Yeah. It's a friction lock. It's just in there in a tight holster. Oh, okay. Which is good. Right. I don't mind that. For competition. It's good for competition. It's okay for, like, what's the retention look like on your appendix rig? There's no hood on that. Right. So, I mean, like, it works for every day. You just have to be mindful of it. Right. Excuse me. I carry, like, here, either at 3 o'clock or just around, like, what they call the 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. That's more often where I'm at. And I can, like, my retention really is just kind of getting my elbow over the gun so you can't pull it out. Right. In a concealed carry thing where my first security feature is the fact that you cannot see the gun, like you were saying. You don't want them to see it. Right. You don't want them to see it ever. Ideally, they didn't see the gun. You just shot them with it. Right. It's like getting stabbed in prison. You never see the thing that shanks you. It's just, you just think the dude's punching you and he's got that sewing machine of hate. So just get into the habit of defending or defeating that retention and drawing that gun to send the projectile where you need it to go.
Yeah, see, it helped. Definitely take some practice with that. But this one is knocking that one down.
Yeah, that one just falls out of the way. You don't even have to worry about it. Got that ramjet on there. He's got a comped gun. He's cheating. He ain't cheating. My gun, just like it, is sitting over there. It's just my spare gun. I love those ramjets. They're great. There you go. The other thing is when you grip the gun, what is this hand doing?
Ideally, I like to keep it where I bring together and push out.
Okay.
So I try to keep it here where this kind of reminds me of where I want to be to push out.
Okay. So once it makes contact with a firearm, what's his hand doing?
Supporting.
You're showing me, you ain't telling me. I want to hear what it's doing.
Supporting.
Okay, it's supporting. How's it supporting?
Just really holding the gun in place, really.
Okay. So how much contact does this hand have with the gun?
Just the frame and the trigger.
It's got lots of contact, right? It's like contact starts here, wraps all the way around the gun to the tippy tip of your fingers, right?
Right.
Okay. Bring this hand back in there. How much contact does this hand have with the gun? Just none. Like it has this part and maybe this little part in here, and that's about it. So this hand ain't controlling the gun. This hand is actually controlling this hand.
Okay.
And its ability to maintain that firearm. Go ahead and put your gun away. Imagine the gun is in your hand, give it a squeeze. Press your arm out. Take this hand, put it right on top of it, and give your hand a squeeze. How's that feel? Feels weird. So now I'm going to have you relax with this one. Keep this hand up like you got a gun in it. I'm going to tell you to take the tips of these fingers, put them where they belong on this hand, and just touch it. I don't want the rest of your hand touching anything. I just want the tips of your fingers touching.
Okay.
Now I want you to imagine that they are pinned in place here and your arm is a ratchet strap and you're going to pull back into place. Okay. Do you feel the difference of how your fingers just locked in more?
No, for sure.
So
for sure.
This is again, not my idea. I picked this up during a class with a guy named Travis Haley earlier this year, actually, and I've been shooting for 43 years. So I have the gun in my hand, and I like to grab this hand, bring it in, and now I'm in my head, I have a horseshoe in my hand, and I'm trying to straighten it out. When I do it, I do this.
Okay.
The way
locking out here.
It's in my wrist more than out here. I'm literally just, give me your hand. Like we're friends. And now I'm just doing this.
Okay.
So it's like I'm trying to rip a water bottle in half or straighten a horseshoe. And we'll try both for you because some things works for me that won't work for you. Other things will, and vice versa. What a lot of people see is they have a gun and they grab the gun like this, like a scissor grip. What he likes to, like, as he explains it, is he pins these over here where you would normally place them when you have the gun in your hand, and then you wrap around like this. And during that wrapping process, it takes everything and squeezes it. You can watch my fingers get compressed out of the way. So, again, empty gun. This hand will come around, and now it's fully wrapping around the gun. And as it does that, it's pulling this hand tighter to the gun. And now I have a lot more pad in there. I try not to run my thumb too high. Everything with a handgun, everything with most firearms, is reference-based. Mm-hmm. If I close my eyes and I put my hand on the gun, I know that this knuckle is touching the bottom of the trigger guard just a little bit. I know that the tip of this finger is not in this divot, it's just in front of it, and this divot lines up just in front of the crease in my finger. I know that I can feel the backstrap of the gun in the web of my hand, and I know that my thumb is sitting right there. If my hand is not in that position, contacting those portions of the gun, I know my hand's not where it needs to be and where I like it to be. Yep. If I'm down like this and I don't feel that portion in my web, I know I fucked up my draw and I need to fix myself. So I like to have that contact. And then this hand, same thing. I know that if I close my eyes, that same takedown divot is not on the tip of my thumb. It's right around here, and I can feel that lock bar right there, and then my hand comes around. I like to grab it and twist. And again, it looks like it's coming from my elbows, but it's really just my wrists doing this. And I'm just locking the gun in. And when I do it, these fingers pull this hand tighter. And as it does, it also pushes this hand into the side of the gun there. So it's pulling and pushing and locks the gun in. And when we go live, I'll show you the recoil difference. You'll just watch the gun and not necessarily the target, because I'll put it in the dirt. Who cares where the bullet goes? But think about how you're holding the gun and locking it into your hands. There's a big, pull your glove off for a hot second. He's super cold today. Y'all don't realize it's cold as hell in Texas today. So shake. So there's a difference between me trying to crush your hand this way and me crushing your hand that way. No. It's not hurting you, but you can feel a firmness change in me grabbing it like it's a scissor versus me wrapping it versus me twisting it. You can feel the difference in your hand, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
Get a couple more dry fire reps. Yeah, either with your glove or without, it's totally up to you. And just focus on trying to find that dot. There you go. Everything is slow and deliberate. Nice. Pain in the ass when some idiot's watching you everything and critiquing it.
Oh no.
Nice. When you're bringing the gun out, try and like put your index finger at the tip of the this is more of a comp thing for you than a defensive thing. You'll see a lot of guys, they'll have their hand in this position, like it's already got a gun in it, and it's right here at the bottom of their holster, and all they do is they come up to the gun. And it'll help. And again, a lot of what we do today will be small stuff. So they're starting here, they come to here, they make contact, and then they start their draw cycle. Once the gun's out, this thing is how I index my gun to go back in the holster. Right. I'll bring the gun back, pocket the flashlight. Like that gives me a funnel. Once that's in there, it's like a magazine. I don't have to watch it slide all the way in there. Once I get it started, I can look up and it'll go in on its own. Right. But now I can spot that. Now I hit it, tip it up, and it goes in. Good. One more. Are you finding the dot a little quicker?
I was just going to say I need to make sure that I'm starting it down first, like you showed me.
And as you get better at that, you'll get more efficient at it, and you won't have to tip down. You'll start presenting the gun nice and flat, which is the goal. But in the beginning, you need training wheels to learn how to ride a bike. Right.
That one was good. That one was good.
He's got that big, nice Trigicon up there. The mailed box of doom.
There we go.
Another thing that will help, and this is going to sound silly, on the back of your optic, take a gray magic marker and outline, go around the rim. Our eyes do really good following circles. And if you can highlight what you're trying to look through, your eye will find it faster.
Okay.
So this, like, again, I spent 43 years doing this, like front sight, nest it, bang. I had problems learning to facilitate that circle. This is the ACSS reticle. If you push that out, it's a diamond
Oh,
or a
yeah.
triangle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you start bringing it back to you a little
can
bit,
see the circle.
you see a giant circle.
Right.
And that circle helps me find the center without doing a lot of this.
Right.
And I found that to be very useful.
For sure.
Out of the box or out of the holster, I'm still much faster with iron sights. But transitioning target to target, I'm better with a red dot. You want to throw your Air Pro on and do some bang bangs?
Yes, sir.
Cool. We're going to start real simple.
Okay.
And start having fun now. All I want you to do is load and make ready. Actually, let's come right to here. There's a red clown nose. Put one round in the middle of the clown nose. So load, make ready as you are ready. There's going to be no beepy noises. There's going to be no other range commands other than... There you go. Pushing the center of that thing doesn't help none. Are your other mags loaded?
No.
Okay. I'm going to steal this one.
Okay. Yeah, it don't matter.
No worries.
They all
Draw
same
115 grain.
Yeah.
Send it, send it.
Let's see what I got here.
Press checks are free. Slow and steady. There's no time limit. You can take 20 minutes to make this one shot.
Okay.
Center of the thing. Pay no attention to the fact that the entire internet is watching you.
Here we go.
Put it back. One more. Let's try it again. Slow and steady. Okay. What did it look like? What did it feel like? And what happened? Tell me about your first shot.
The first shot I felt was a little rushed.
Okay.
The second shot I thought I took a little more time. It was a little more closer to the dot than the first shot.
Sure.
But neither felt like it, I guess maybe like it should.
Okay. Knowing it didn't feel right is just as important as knowing what right feels like.
Okay.
Because it's all data. It's all stuff you're going to put together. What did the sight picture look like at your first shot? You don't have to articulate it right now. Just think about that in your head. What did that sight picture look like? What did the recoil and what did the gun feel like when you broke the shot? And we already know what happened because, like, paper don't lie.
Right.
So think about that. What did it look like? What did it feel like? What happened? And then now go to your second shot. What did that look like? What did that feel like? And what happened? Add that up in your head. And I want you to put a third shot where I told you to put the bullet the first time. Ready up. Good job, no cheating. I like it. Good. Do it again. Slow and steady. There's no time limit. There's no trophy queen.
There we go.
All right. Now, are you a middle-aged car salesman?
Negative.
Cool. Then stop sitting like you got a pot belly and like you're bored out your mind.
Okay.
Stand up like a proud man. Get your feet where you need them to be.
Okay.
Slow and steady. Put your hand on the holster where you want it to be at the base. Draw up to the grip of the gun. Get a good firm grip. Let your thumb defeat your retention. Draw that gun out. Get your sight picture. Squeeze it. Stop, don't move. Are you a prostitute?
No, sir.
Okay, stop leading with your penis. All right.
For sure.
One more shot. Good. You're squeezing it, you're holding it, and releasing it all deliberately. One more. Holster. You know what success, you know how it happens. You know what happens. What did it look like? What did it feel like? What happened as a parent? Then you made this shot. What did it look like? What did it feel like? We already know what happened. You broke this as your last shot. What did it look like? What did it feel like? What happened? What did your grip feel like on this shot when it broke? What did your grip feel like on this one when it broke? What did your grip feel like? What did your shot feel like when it broke? Super easy. The more you think about that after each shot, the more you can do it right. Now here's the next step. So, I don't press check because my gun's got a little divot right there and I can just go bloop, yep, there's a bullet in there. So from the draw, let's see if I can do this cold and I'm as cool as I sound. From the draw, I'm gonna come up, find the gun, defeat my retention, draw my gun, press out, squeeze, and one. I still have a firm grip on that trigger. I've pinned the trigger to the rear because when the gun recoils, I can't see anything. I'm gonna bring the gun back, find my optic, start to release. As soon as it clicks, bang. Okay, I know what that felt like. I know what that looked like, and we can clearly see what happened. I can adjust myself. Okay, I can see it. Okay, see it. See it. See it. See it. See it. And I can just keep doing that. I can pin it to the rear, let the gun recoil and do whatever dance it wants to do, and then bring it back. And once I see that optic or see the front sight, I slowly take my finger off the trigger till you hear what?
The click.
What is that click?
Letting you know it reset.
It's the trigger reset. As soon as I hear that reset, my sights have already been lined back up. I can break the shot again. I can break the shot again. I can break the shot again. Is that a terrible group?
No, that looks phenomenal.
Okay, just checking. Cool.
And it looked good doing it. My thing with that is the gun would move on hearing the click, bringing it back to the click.
Okay. Why?
It looked like you were holding that thing as still as possible.
Okay, you're right. So the NRA teaches grip, position, sight alignment, breath control, trigger squeeze, follow through. That's a lot. But when you think about it and you break it down, all of those things are meant to do one thing and one thing only. It's to take this gun, hold it in space, while my finger slowly moves to the rear and sends around. Sends around. How steady is the gun right now? It's not. It's bouncing all over the place because I got fucking bitch arms. It doesn't matter where the gun is after the shot leaves. I want the optic or the front sight to be where it needs to be when I break the shot. That was a terrible shot. I felt that. I felt that all day. So when I've got the gun in my hand, I'm twisting. So when I've got this up here and I'm locked in, you'll see my hands do this. And it's not my elbows moving. It's just my wrists tightening up. And it's one. And squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. It's a repetition you'll get with time. I'm just bringing the gun up. 1, 2, 3. The gun's moving very little because I'm controlling that gun. We used to teach a 60-40 split. So this hand does 60% of the work. This hand does 40% of the work of holding the gun still. You know what that sounds like to me? Math. You know what I hate more than anything in the world?
Math.
Math. But math makes the world go round. So when I've got that thing, I'm literally turning my hand into an A. Like I'm spinning the shit out of that thing. Some guys do this better than this. And it's as you shoot with the data you're collecting now, you'll come into your own style of shooting. I'm not here to make you me.
No.
I want you to be the best you can be, which is not sitting like a car salesman, not leading with your penis. Like, we're going to get that gun to where it needs to be. When you fight like this? You fight like this.
Right.
So get in a fighting stance and put a gun in your hand. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stop calling me sir.
Yeah.
Give me one round in the middle of the solid red circle. The glove might be too.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's why I took it off on my shooting hand.
Primary hand, yeah.
Okay.
Slow and steady. We ain't no race. Ain't nobody fighting us. We're just learning to win.
Learning to
Good
win.
job.
I like that, honey gang. Learning to win. Yes, sir. Here we go.
Do it again. You know what? Go to the open circle now. Go to the one on the right-hand side. Okay, stop.
It was some dip in that chip. Yeah.
So, go ahead, reload your gun. You got a fresh mag. Stop. All this, it's not a limp penis. You hold that thing like you mean it. Every time.
Even while.
Even wow, especially wow. Because if I want to fight you, this is when you as a gunfighter are the most vulnerable.
For sure.
So this has one job in the whole universe right now. Outside of hugging your wife, this hand has one job right now. It's to keep this gun in your control.
For sure.
Don't limp wrist this. Don't treat it like it's a toy. And don't treat it like if it falls out of your hand, it don't matter.
No.
Swap them out. Keep going. There you go. All right, holster up, relax. So, like I got short hands. So I have to turn the gun in my hand a little bit so my short-ass girl fingers can hit that magazine release. But those are still locked on that gun. I might turn the gun a little bit so I can reach, but it's a full grip all the time. One of the things, and I see YouTube guys do this all the time, they're like, so this is the gun, and this is this, and this, and this, and that is not how you grip a gun. It's not. You grip a gun like you mean it. If you need to hold it like this so you can display so all your content creation can be created contently, that's fine. But every other moment, that gun goes into this hand. I'm not saying you have to white knuckle it. This is a firearm, and it is your responsibility to keep the control of this firearm in your control.
For sure.
None of this. If you take nothing else out of this today, the retention of that firearm is the most important aspect of a gunfight next to killing the other guy. Because if it falls out of your hands, it becomes somebody else's tool, and now it's your problem. So, give me 5 rounds in that star at your pace. There's a point to this, don't worry. No wasted draw. Nice job.
You want me to rehost or
Nope,
just
I want five rounds at your pace, so 4 more rounds, no worries. Where the fuck has that guy been all of these shots? All right, let's do it again. 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
Good job. Reset. Do everything right. Do as many things properly as you can.
That was the first time
You rode the
holding
reset.
it. Yeah.
Does it make sense to you?
It made a lot of sense. It just felt weird, but only because it's new. It's new.
It's new. So humans, men especially, multitask like crap. But we do successive processes very well. So, one task at a time, each task in its time.
For sure.
I'm going to grab the gun. The only thing I can do at this phase is to get a hold of the gun. I can't align my sights.
Right.
It ain't that time yet. It's time to get the gun. It's time to draw the gun. It's time to hold the gun. Time to press the gun. Time to break the shot. The gun jumped up a little bit. I can't see my sights. I'm going to bring the gun back down. I'm going to find my sights. I'm going to squeeze my shot. I'm going to squeeze my shot. That shot like sucked. It felt weird. I got to fix it. I got to fix it. I got to fix it. How bad is it that I went up there? It's pretty bad. It's not where I wanted the bullet to go. Everything we do with a handgun, everything we do with a firearm has to be deliberate. Because the consequences of that in an urban setting or a mall or my backyard is detrimental. Because if that round didn't go where I wanted it to go, I still own that bullet. And if it hits Mrs. Gonzalez's clothesline, I have to buy a little rope. But if it goes into her house and hits her kid, I might as well use the rope.
For sure.
I have to be accountable for all my shots. So knowing it went where it went, seeing the result, what did it look like? What did it feel like? Whoop, can't have that. I have to come back down to where I need it to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Quit calling me Sergeant.
Hey, I'm going to get out of it eventually.
So give me 1 round in the center of that open circle.
Open circle.
It's okay.
That was sloppy.
Good. Fix it. I saw that hunt for the dot a little bit.
And it was horrible.
It's okay. So, I saw you like frown face at that because you missed. You know why you missed, right?
Right.
What did you do? Don't tell me. Think about it. Create the solution. Solve the problem on your next round. Go ahead. Slow and steady. If you miss this time, make the correction immediately and break a second shot.
Okay.
Don't worry about putting it back. I want you to shoot till there is 1 round in the middle of that circle.
Yeah.
So see it, fix it, solve it. That'll do. Nice. Now, do that one more time. Fire till you're in the middle. Or fire till you're in the circle, I should say. Good. Holster up. You threw to the left. You know what you did. I want you to solve it this time. The first time you did this, you did it in 3 shots to get it in that circle. The second time, you did it in 2 shots to get it in that circle. Do it again. Shoot till you get in that circle. I don't care if it takes 1 shot. I'd prefer it if it took 1 shot. But I don't care if it takes 1 shot or 10. You got the time. Slow and steady. This motherfucker, dead center, right through the middle of that. Walk up on that, because that is, you couldn't get any more in the middle. Mag. It's the downside of mag wells. So,
warmer now.
So this was your first shot on the second volley. Not the last one and not the first one, but this was the second shot, or the first shot on your second volley. You saw it, you made the correction, and then sent the next round into the circle, which is what we wanted you to do.
Right.
What did this feel like? What did it look like when that shot occurred?
Well, of course, felt like I pulled to the left, but
What caused that pull?
it felt like I had a little too much finger.
Okay.
A little too much finger. And that was just, pulling out a little bit.
Okay, good. That is an important thing to remember. Where does your finger go? Remember, everything on that gun is about reference points. Strange eye contact. Okay, cool. Everything on that gun is about reference points of how it feels in your hand. If it doesn't feel right, it ain't gonna work right. The tip of your finger on the place you want it to be is as important as where your knuckle is, where the palm of your hand is.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So when you do you guys do a lot of dry fire?
I do. I have the Mantis.
Sure. Excellent.
Laser
Mantis
cabinet
is a
in the
great
house.
system.
Yeah, so I use that a lot.
Good.
Okay, yeah.
Feel better?
Yes, sir.
Motherfucker.
Honey gang, it ain't nothing like actually seeing it. Seeing what you're being taught or what you're being told, implementing it, and seeing it work.
The more we can do something successfully, the more confidence we have in that task.
Right.
The more we analyze what we did wrong, the better we are at changing it, fixing it, and getting it right faster. I have lost so many fights in my life, but those are historically the ones that taught me the most.
For sure.
Winning feels great. Yay! But like losing and being able to know why you lose so that never happens again, that is invaluable.
For sure. For sure.
Slightly bigger circles this time. I want 1 round in the center of each. But before we do that, when you're making that shot right there, what does that sight picture look like to you? Is your dot here? Is your dot here? Is your dot here?
Right, that's what I was trying to pay attention to. That's what I was trying to pay attention to.
Right. So at this distance, your dot is probably not in the middle of that target, and that can mess with you. at this distance, that dot's probably up a little bit.
Right.
It's probably like right at around 12 o'clock, maybe just a hair higher. It all depends. But you have to know that as a gunfighter, as a practitioner of the American martial art of gunfighting. You have to know that because we own every shot we make.
Right.
From the moment we buy the bullet to the moment we send it out of the gun, and it lands somewhere.
Somewhere.
We own that bullet. That's ours. We own that. Whether we did it right or we did it wrong. If we fire that shot outside of a range situation, the placement of the bullet we own is going to decide whether or not we spend 2 nights in jail or just 1.
For sure.
Set yourself up for success. Give me 1 round in each. Slow and steady. There's no trophy girl. There ain't nothing. You already won your wife. You ain't got to impress nobody.
Got it and got her.
That's it.
Okay, here we go.
Go to the next one. Holster. Do it again, but with success. Think about what you need to do to make yourself efficient. You're still going up above the gun, down to the gun, and drawing the gun. Bring your hand to the gun, then remove the gun. Might be an ammo issue. Is that mag seated or?
I believe so. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I don't like those first 2. Let's get it right.
There we go. Better. But it ain't your best. Show me your best. There's no time limit here. You don't have to rush nothing. Slow and steady. That is what I want to see. That was center on center.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you, thank you.
So, draw your gun. Take that magazine out of it. Good job. Resetting, getting yourself that one. Nope, leave the bullet in there.
Okay.
Trade magazines with me. I'm going to put this in your bag so it doesn't end up in mine. So you have a fresh mag here, and you have how many rounds in that gun?
1.
Okay, so I want 1 round in the target on the left, reload, and 1 round in the target on the right.
Gotcha.
Slow and steady. Okay, remove that magazine. Put that in your source pouch. Pick that one up, put it back in the gun. That's a nice shot. Good, do it again. Ready? There you go. Set yourself up for success right off the bat. Shake that gun like you're angry at it.
Get out of there.
Reset. Mag out, mag in. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to stand right here for a minute. So you watch my hands. Let me see that empty magazine, please.
The empty one.
Yep. Slow and steady. Don't get fast. So I have 1 round in the gun. I have an empty magazine. The gun comes out. The shot goes out. The gun goes to lockback. Now bring your elbows to your rib cage. That's it. Some people try and do their reload out here or here. If I bring my elbows to my rib cage, the gun is now stable. I can move, I can run, I can step to the side, but that gun's never going to go very far from here. So we're talking about efficiency stuff right now.
Okay.
So the gun comes to here, and it's a short movement for this hand to go to here, where my magazine is. And if I drop the magazine, I can bring it up. My index finger points to the mag well. The gun's in front of me. My elbows are still pretty pinned. I can start it, seat it, and break my next shot. Bang. So in sequence, it's bang, out, in, up, press, bang. And I'm just putting them into the dirt right now because I want you to focus on this. That doesn't fucking matter yet. I want that thing to get out of the way. If I push that button and it doesn't come out, get out of my way. Just shake the hell out of it. Now, that index finger, I'm feeding it. I don't have to look at it anymore. Once the tip is in, I can look her in the eyes and I can slam it home when I need to and press out. I don't have to watch that thing go all the way in.
Okay.
That magazine went for a ride. So break your shot, shake it free. Don't shake it this way. This way is kind of uncomfortable for us because we're used to pushing stuff away from us.
Okay.
The only thing we bring towards us is our wives. Everything else needs to get away from me.
Okay.
The other nice thing is, if I'm here and my problem advances and I'm in the middle of a reload, this is a strike as well as trying to get that magazine out of the way.
Okay.
So think about it in that, get away from me. I want the magazine out of the way, just like I want I want to be able to complete my task.
Okay. Where we over here?
Slow and steady. Nice.
Yeah. I'd be heavy. And I wonder, because it don't seem like when I'm hitting it here that it's catching it all. Well, I guess maybe because it's
Let me see it for a minute.
down.
Got it. It's not just you. That's tight in the gun.
Okay.
So it's not just you. Is it that magazine or is it all magazines?
Now I was gonna say with a loaded magazine it'll come out.
It feels like this mag seat's a little tight, but we'll see. So you have magazines that have extensions.
Yeah.
Let's empty one of these magazines.
Okay. Yeah, I can
That
yank
one's
this one
yours.
for sure.
And now you have a lot to get a hold of if you have that issue again.
For sure.
So on mine, I actually cut out scallops so that if the magazine gets stuck in there, I have something to grab. I'm not trying to reach up underneath a magwell.
Right.
All right.
So I need one.
So 1 round in the gun. Yep.
Yeah.
So 1 and 1.
1 and 1.
There you go. Now you know it. Yep. There you go. Go ahead and swap that mag out. Let's do one more of those. Okay. So feel that spring. Feel that spring. That's why your gun doesn't lock back on that magazine.
Oh, okay.
It's super weak.
Okay.
And it's probably weak because that spring isn't set for that +4.
5, yeah.
Plus
okay.
5?
Yeah.
Man, you overcompensate. Just something to keep in mind. Good job.
That was the wrong way.
Okay. Now, take your mags, load them up. We're going to try something different. We're going to put some more stuff together.